What's happening, people? Welcome back to the show. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's the Monday mashup. It's the day after the day, if you like. A fantastic win for Liverpool yesterday, sailing number 20 in absolute glorious fashion. 5-1 against Spurs. We will be talking a little bit about Liverpool tonight. That is for sure. But don't forget, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. A little bit of housekeeping as well. Wednesday, we'll be doing Pro Wrestling Weekly, another kind of reflection on WrestleMania and what's come out since and all that kind of stuff. We'll do our usual Raw recap and all the other news as well. We'll take a look back at TNA Rebellion as well. Fantastic at the weekend. But plenty to talk about tonight. We're going to do a quick rundown through the Premier League as if it's needed at this stage. 20 times champions Liverpool. Fantastic scenes yesterday outside Anfield, and we'll go through all that. Marky will be joining us shortly. He's just getting a little one down to settle. But however, Dino's there in the chat as always. Big up, Dino. This show better just be a dedication to the only team in the land, the Unbearables, the mighty piss-boiling LFC. Nothing else matters. There you go. I've got plenty of stuff there, Dino. Plenty of stuff. Big up Philip Hoynall. Congratulations on winning the league. Where's Mark? He's en route as far as I know. He's just getting the little one settled as far as I know. So he'll be here shortly. Make no mistake about that. But yeah, just on reflection yesterday, it was fantastic, and again, kind of not dissimilar to the way the season has gone a little bit. We cough up a goal, of course, and then everyone's hopes outside of Liverpool fans hoping that this is the way it goes with Spurs and things roll on them for another week and stuff like that, but no such luck. Absolutely battered Spurs yesterday from pillar to post, and to be honest with you, the 5-1 scoreline was really a reflection of us really taking our foot off the gas. Really, it could have been a cricket score, to be honest. Big up, Zach. Hope you're well, my friend. Thanks for joining us tonight. Como's in there. You're nothing special. We lose every week. No, but congratulations. Big up, Graham. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Absolutely. And I have to say, Graham was on to me yesterday. Please end this misery and all that kind of thing. And fair play to him and all. He was the first one on to congratulate me and stuff like that. So, Graham, appreciate it as always. My brother from the Wrestling Mania trips and the WrestleMania trips and all that. Dino's in. Mark Spit joining that Premier League trophy. No, it's there. It's there. Have the scarf on it, the whole lot. I haven't got the ribbons yet, so keep the ribbons for when we actually get the trophy and stuff like that and all. I have the trophy for young Lewis Dino on the day when he comes down on the 25th, I think it is. 26th is the parade or whatever it is. So the ribbons will be on it for then, and he'll have good cracking all between the dogs and the trophy and the food and everything else. It'll be flown that day. We'll have great crack. But yeah, it was just a sensational day. I mean, to see the crowd there, and something that we really missed when we won it back in 20 with the COVID title and lockdown and stuff like that. To see the joy on the players' faces and all, and what it meant to them, and even Mo and Virgil and all lads who have been there, Robbo and all, and even looking at Trent, the Trent yesterday looked like a guy who was on his way out the door. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments as well. He was in the middle of everything that was going on, and everything else, and like he was involved in all the singing and the dancing and the celebrating and all that, and got quite emotional as well in that lineup singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" as well, which always pulls on our heartstrings. And I don't know, and the Cody Gakpo gives something away, Lewis. Or did Cody Gakpo give something away, I should say, about Trent yesterday when he mentioned Virgil and Mo re-signing, he goes, and potentially Trent as well. So maybe he let something out of the bag there. I think Trent's going to stay. How do you walk away from that yesterday? Stadium packed, outside the ground packed, all the streets packed. Just this red mist. Even when the bus was coming in to arrive, and the welcome that it got, you couldn't even see it on TV. There was so many flares and stuff like that and all. And we don't have to celebrate when we win. And when we use that slogan, "This means more," it really does mean more, doesn't it? Really, really does. Baz is in. Big up, Baz. Evening, bro. What's a crack? Congrats on Liverpool winning the league. You're gent, Baz. Thanks so much, bro. Always a good one. But yeah, so like it's hard to reflect on it because I know and I said this back in 20 as well, for so many years, I never thought we would win a Premier League. I never thought I'd see us win a Premier League. And then obviously Jurgen got over the line and did it, and that was fantastic. And I thought yesterday with Arne Slot as well, I thought it was fitting as well that he should mention Jurgen Klopp and stuff like that, and that was really, really important. But just continually breaking records all season this season, and no one thought we would do it. Absolutely, no one thought we would do it. Like I have here all the predictions from all the main pundits and stuff like that, and all, and who they predicted. And even from our own point of view at the start of the season, where we knew that Arne Slot was inheriting a pretty good squad, we were really, really concerned that he hadn't gone into the market. Really, we went in and got Chiesa, which kind of a reaction buy, and obviously we bought the keeper coming in this season. But we didn't really change anything, and we were kind of thinking, we dropped off badly last season with about 6 games to go and stuff like that. And, would it be more of the same? And, what could happen differently this year that didn't happen last year? So, and with Jurgen leaving, which was absolutely huge. If you all remember on the podcast, Darren rang me at 3:00 in the morning. I was in Florida at the Royal Rumble at that stage when news broke about Jurgen leaving. It was 3:00 in the morning, Florida time, and Darren rang me because it was obviously so important. And everyone thought there was going to be a massive drop off. But yeah, absolutely. Scenes yesterday were just absolutely phenomenal to be a part of that. When Liverpool celebrates, it really does celebrate, and these celebrations will go on and on and on and continue all the way now till the end of the season and stuff like that. And it'll be interesting to see now, can Mo clinch those other records he wants to clinch. And some of them that are in there are absolutely huge. Like this one here is one that I picked out. Arne Slot in really good company there of managers that won the Premier League in their first season. Look, he's in there with Ancelotti, Conte, Pellegrini, and Jose Mourinho. Serious company that he's keeping there, He's also gone into the record books as well as the first Dutch manager to win the Premier League. And I think that's crazy when you think about it, isn't it? And also the first Virgil van Dijk going in as the first Dutch captain. The first Dutch captain to lift the Premier League, which is insane as well. You know what I mean? When you think of all the fantastic Dutch players down through the years that obviously just didn't captain their side. So records getting broken all this season and stuff like that. And you hear a lot of people talking about it this season, and this season was this, and this season was that, and all that kind of stuff and all. But in fairness, I've listened to a lot of content creators today and over the last day or so, and they've all come out and said, look, hats off to Liverpool and winning the league and stuff like that. We've won it with a month in advance, a month still to go and stuff like that. And we're still on for huge points. If we win all our games now, I think it's 94 or something like that. So there's been no drop off from our point of view. But I think if people come out and they start saying, oh, it's the worst Premier League ever and all this kind of thing, I think it's absolutely just bitterness, really. And I think people need to take a look at themselves if that's what they're talking about, So let me take some comments. His celebration at Leicester yesterday smells like he is staying. Yeah, it really, really does, doesn't it? So let's see. Still feeling ecstatic thinking about yesterday. We are truly blessed to live in the Klopp slot era. Hopefully this is our version of Shankly and Paisley. Can you imagine? Bob Paisley. 19 trophies in 7 years. Can you imagine? What an error that would be. Good Lord. If he did half of that, it'd be incredible, wouldn't it? Dino, shout out to the Everton fan that sold the lads blue flares. Absolutely brilliant. Great banter. Yeah, absolutely. It's mad, isn't it? Only person in the photo without hair. There you go. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it, as well, when you think about it? Yeah, so probably sounds, the first, are we going to sign the first bald manager as well? Remember back in August, you Man United fans bantering saying we now have our own bald Dutch manager there now and all this kind of stuff. That's insane. Having said that, there's some heads of hair there, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Good genetics. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I was absolutely stoked yesterday. I was quite emotional about it. Because these are precious moments, because it doesn't happen for us every year, you know what I mean? So it's really, really important that when it happens that we absolutely enjoy it. Oh, what up?
What's up, my brother?
How are you?
I'm just in the gym. I was like, I have to check in to
Absolutely.
just express me. It's hard to put into words, and I'm not gonna like dig the lads out and what have you. But the lads already know how I feel. You know how I feel. It's been a roller coaster of emotions for the last what 10 years, 9 years since Klopp came in. We came in with that famous on the phone. Sorry, idiots in the gym. Since Klopp came in, he gave us the whole. It's not about the way people see it when you come in. It's about how people see it when you leave. And I told you during last summer, I was like, if we don't invest, we're going to struggle to get top four. And then we got to December and we were sitting pretty. Fun fact: we're top of the league since I think the 2nd of November, and we never came off it since. And I think it got to around December. You had that famous saying that whoever's top of the league on New Year's Eve usually goes on to win the league. I think only 2 teams in the last 15, 20 years haven't, and we've been one of them. And it got to that point in the season where you're like, right, we win this game, we're going to win the league. But you're still afraid to say it. And then yesterday came around and I think all my dreams came true. Winning the league 5 years ago. I remember coming home from work and me and you were talking. I was talking at the backyard and my mom was still here and toasting it with my mom and my dad. And it just felt that little small bit of emptiness that there was no fans there. And as euphoric as we got watching the team celebrating on field and on the cup and Kenny present the trophy yesterday, I don't think I'll ever win a song like yesterday ever again for the rest of my life. And I sent you a voice note there with finished work. And the whole team, I get emotional now because since losing my mom, you were there, my mom's coffin was carried in, so you'll never walk alone. And standing there in front of the cup and I've never win standing like that in my life. You witnessed the glory days, but yesterday for me was their day. I've never win a stand like in my life. And Arne Slot said after the game, he said that people talk about winning one league in 25 years and 2 and 40. It's 2 and 5. Since we won the league, it's 2 and 5. And I was saying something yesterday about City have won the last 10 years. I think City have won 8 and we've won 2. Only we've broke that from City. And if the talk is true that this summer is going to be the biggest investment in the club's history, I'm so excited for next season. But I just wanted to say thank you to Arne for coming in because a lot of us felt lost and divided when Jurgen announced he was leaving. A lot of us thought it was a Paddy Power comedy special with a voiceover or something. And we all realised that it was true. And Slot came in, and nobody really knew what was to come. And as I said, I made a statement saying that we could just get top four, we'll be happy. And my wildest dreams came true yesterday. I genuinely can't believe that we're Premier League champions this season. Fully deserved, but I genuinely can't believe that we're Premier League champions. And I just wanted to say thank you to Arne, to all the players, the backroom staff. Just what a season it's been. What a season it's been. People talk about the fall off and not winning the Champions League and getting knocked out the FA Cup by Plymouth. You would have told me at the start of the season that Liverpool had wrong home with Premier League. I think we all would have slapped each other in the face and said, get real. But here we are, 20 times. And as poor Gary Neville said yesterday, most successful team in English football in history. Sounds good, doesn't it, bro?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely amazing. And just to equal that 20 times as well, we don't have to listen to that anymore. Now we have our own version of it. And like it's just fantastic to see. And it's all that reward for everything else, all that work that Klopp did and everything and all. And then Arne coming in and putting his spin on it, and what he did with Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and how he changed up Salah a little bit and stuff and put his own unique touch on it and stuff like that. And it's going to be really exciting. This summer is going to be really exciting if FSG are true to their word and all. Hopefully this time, hopefully we'll build on success rather than diluting it down. And it's going to be very interesting to see what players he brings in and what players leave and all. And you know, even yesterday, you know something, I felt a bit for Darwin and I felt a bit for Chiesa. You know what I mean? Like even Chiesa there on the bench in the bib, and he was bringing on Harvey and Darwin and all and stuff like that and all. And I kind of, you know how I felt about the Chiesa signing all season. I knew we weren't going to use him, and I knew it was just a boy for the sake of it and stuff like that. But I did feel for him yesterday and stuff like that. I was glad he got involved in the celebrations and all. And it's difficult when you don't really feel part of it and you're not heavily involved in it and stuff like that and all. But it was good to see him getting involved and all. And it'll be interesting now. The Palace game will be pretty emotional when we get presented the trophies and the medals and all that kind of stuff. And then it'll be interesting to see then what's announced then. And, you know, looking at Trent, it's very hard to see how Trent could walk away from that, isn't it? Like, because as much as I want us to win so much stuff and all, I really want to see Trent as our captain winning a Premier League or winning a Champions League or whatever it is. I think it'd be so much more special than if he headed off to Real Madrid. So we'll see what happens there yesterday. But I have to say, even to see Kenny Dalglish there yesterday and Alan Hansen and Ian Rush and all the boys and all, and to listen to Peter Drury's words at the end of it and all, and how he summed it all up and all, it was just very, 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 very unique. Now, as you know, Hillary went away shopping. She was in Liverpool and Manchester. So she picked us up some new aftershave. I don't know if you've seen this new aftershave that's out. Apparently, it smells great. From what I heard. Now, you know what I mean. So, but
you know what I think makes it unique. There's a unique smell to it. It's the hair dye that's rolled off the eyebrows and the eyelashes of Arteta when he was whinging. And I think that's trickled into it, and that like one or two drops has just made that unique smell. But you see essentially that video, I sent the lads the video of Lewis laughing, and it's such a hearty, you know, it's just one of those affectionate laughs.
It's great.
That was Lewis having a little giggle at Arsenal. And
it's great.
Loads more of that tomorrow night. I'm excited for tomorrow night. Just compound that misery. Because you have to remember, this is an Arsenal team. Even when it's seen that like to be impossible, the Champions League semi-final is coming up. The biggest game other than the Champions League final that they lost to Barcelona. This is probably the biggest game in Arsenal's history. And Arteta was only worried about delaying Liverpool winning the league. Now, if that's my manager, I'm not really too happy considering what's coming up and knowing that you're not going to win the league. So I'm all about laughing at Arsenal, and I'm all about Arsenal tears. It makes a change that we're not picking at Darren and Greg and Ted and Eno and all. But everyone loves to hate Arsenal, and I'm definitely here for tomorrow when they get hopped off.
And here was the predictions at the start of the season. Not a single Liverpool prediction from Karen Carney, Tim Sherwood, Shay Given, Mark Schwarzer, Don Hutchinson, Matt Holland, Sean Roy Phillips, Jermaine Defoe, Michael Owen, Darren Bent, and Leon Osman. Not a single Liverpool prediction.
Where did Michael Owen have us to finish?
I don't know where he had us to finish, but he had Arsenal winning it.
I don't know. I can't really say much. I thought we wouldn't even finish in the top four. I thought we'd be blessed to finish in the top four. I said there's no investment again from FSG. I'm still not back in FSG. They need to put their money where their mouth is now. But I think having had such a special season, and we just talk about for a few seconds just before I go, Alexis McAllister, 45 minutes. The boy is a roll of dice. The father coming out and saying he's happy to stay at Liverpool. He's came out himself and said he's happy to stay at Liverpool. 45 minutes. Like, that surely he's in there with a shout for player of the season. Surely he's in there. He's definitely bargaining the season. Just so many players turned up this season that Gravenberch, I wrote him off. I said the guy's not good enough. He needs to be sold in the summer. Being a Rolls Royce in the middle of the park. Bar one or two little lapses. Tony Gakpo has said last summer, you know, we haven't got the time to wait around for another season for him to become good. I know he hasn't really played a lot the latter part of the season. I know he was out injured too, but he came up with some very, very important goals. Yeah, just absolutely. Mo Salah, like, there's no superlatives left for Mo Salah. Like 28 goals, 18 assists. He's one away from breaking the all-time record of goals and assists in a season. And you know, it's just it's hard to pinpoint, put the finger on one player. I know Salah's goals and assists took us a long way in the season, but so many people stepped up this season. Alisson, you know, we missed him massively when he was out, coming back in to prove he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
And Quavane was brilliant. Quavane was brilliant.
100% definitely.
Connor Bradley, brilliant.
Coming in. Just so many players stepped up, you know, and the lads will probably be slagging me in the background because I do be giving a lot of abuse for things that aren't going their way. So many players stepped up. Not even the drag us over the line, you know, we kind of romped to the line, you know, it was a 2-horse race probably until late December maybe, but you know, as would usually be, if results didn't go or results went their way, we would have capitalised. But this season, I was looking at the form guys for the whole season, 2 defeats, 82 points, only top 20. I'd love us to break the 90 points, but if we lost the last 4 games of the season, I don't think I'd actually care. And the lads busted our nuts this season to get us that precious trophy, and I think we all Liverpool fans, we just wish we could close our eyes and wake up. And it's the Palace game on the end of the season, because if we thought yesterday was emotional, Kenny Dalglish balling his eyes out singing and Never Walk Alone. How good was it to see Alan Hansen there as well? You know, yeah, the Palace game should be something special.
Yeah, will it definitely will, and then the parade the next day is going to be. I mean, if you've seen the scenes yesterday, just imagine what the parade will be like. I think on the 26th, it's going to be absolutely out of this world. And I mean, we've experienced some of this firsthand at times with Champions League wins and stuff like that and all. But this one probably feels like it's extra special. And Peter Drury said it yesterday, you know, that this one's really for the people. The people are there; they're able to share the moment, all that kind of stuff and all, you know. And it was phenomenal yesterday to see people in the ground and to experience that and have that memory there and all that kind of stuff was absolutely, it was brilliant to see. And it's really what we're about as a club, isn't it, really? And this is what, as I said now with FSG, this is what we need to do. Now we need to do what we didn't do during the Klopp era, which is build on that success and bring players in and, you know, push on, be even more difficult. It's one thing to win a league, but now we have to go and defend it. And winning back-to-backs would sound really, really good, you know. And maybe this is it. Maybe this is the start of potentially, you know, an era under Arne Slot and stuff like that. A lot of foundation players there. Obviously, Mo and Virgil re-signing is massive. And if Trent was to stay, that would be huge. That would be a statement. So let's see what happens there. And let's see who they bring through the door. But yeah, so that's it.
Just speaking on the emotion yesterday before I'm going to go on after this. There's a video put out, I'm not sure whether it was by the Anfield Rap or I'm not sure. I think it could be the Anfield Rap, but it's basically a tribute video to the lads for the season up until the win at Leicester. And in the background there's a song called Heart As Big As My Hometown, Heart As Big As Liverpool. It's by the mighty Wah. It was brought out, I think, around the time of the Hillsborough disaster. But it was emotional watching them singing and Never Walking Onto the Copper. Last night I was tripping through videos and I came across that song. We always post on the Hillsborough anniversary. Usually a video and it posts all the face of people that perished that day. And the league title, it means so much to everyone, not only just us, but the families of those that perished that day. You know, like a league trophy, it never take away the pain of losing loved ones, but it goes a long way to doing so. But I'm gonna post a link to that into the comments section. If people can just check it out, because it's quite humbling. It brings a tear to your eye, whether it's for Liverpool or not. And that's what I leave it at. It's like that. Yesterday brought so many memories back from my mother posting that trophy 5 years ago. after getting off the phone to you out the backyard, and I came in and my mum had a bottle of beer, my dad had a bottle of beer, and I had a bottle of beer, and you know what I'm going through at the moment. So yesterday brought so many happy memories back, you know, and thinking of you, and I was thinking of my man, just thinking about when we were over in Ainsley for the Champions League final that didn't go our way, and just all the trips we had to Anfield and all, and just so many good vibes, you know. It brought a smile to my face. Yeah, I'll post that video in the comment section. Everyone can check it out. Yeah.
And of course, we're gonna do a show. We're gonna do a show on Friday, aren't we? We're gonna do a show on Friday, and we'll take a look back at the season so far. So make sure you check out that one's on Friday, folks. That'll be good, and we'll keep an eye on the Irish football going on around the same time as well. So a bit of crack. Well, listen, love you jumping on, bro, as always. Enjoy your workout. Throw a few weights around for me there if you can. I'd appreciate it. Lift a bit of few deadlifts or whatever it is. And I'll chat to you before Friday, of course.
God bless my brother.
Cheers, bro.
Marco, 20 times, baby.
He's not here yet. So there you go. That was Dino live from the gym there. I love when people ring in like that. Right. Roll me. Copper final. I was gutted we were so close. You were. And you know something? I wanted it to go to penalties. But that was insane, wasn't it? What about Rudiger? Absolutely head loss. Just as well your man grabbed him, wasn't it? Because if he hadn't grabbed him, my God, what would have happened? Scary scenes. The actual, you could see the hate in Rudiger's eyes, couldn't you? It was absolutely insane. No sign of Marky yet, so we're going to push on anyway. I hope Trent didn't get too drunk. He has a plane to catch. Yeah, it's interesting. What do you make of it, Romy? Do you still think he's on his way to Madrid, or what do you think? Honestly speaking, like, Niall, you can make Trent your captain on the AFC 25. He said the same thing to you a few years ago as well, didn't he, Madrid? You only on FIFA. It's a bottle of win the dog piss. There you go, win the dog's piss. Absolutely. Darren Ben flies the Arsenal flag and play it for their rival. Some fan he is, yeah, absolutely. Niall, don't give me nightmares with that Liverpool champions poster. There you go. So, folks, I know it's difficult when we win, and you know, when it's rivals and stuff like that and all. So we'll have a quick chat first of all about, let's talk about the final. And obviously a huge win for Palace. Massive win for Palace on Saturday against Aston Villa. They were absolutely outstanding, Palace were. If I can bring it up here now, because I only have a few. There we go. 3-0 win for Palace. SA with the goal on 21. Sarr on 58 with a belter, and then 90+4 with that breakaway goal to seal it. Was absolutely outstanding. And we wish Palace all the best in the FA Cup final. To put a trophy on the board, but they're going to have to come over Man City, who probably consider themselves a little bit fortunate yesterday, the way the game went. Running out, I think it was 2-0 winners in the end from what it was obviously on the same time as the Liverpool game, which is kind of weird as well. I don't know why they win that. But 2-0 winners, City. Lewis with the goal on 2 and Vardy on 51. But Nottingham Forest gave a very good account of themselves from what I believe. I didn't see the game, but I believe they did. Romy's in. Palace, I can see winning this FA Cup. They've been playing quality. They're playing really, really good football. And kind of fell for Emery and Aston Villa yesterday on Saturday as well. They kind of huffed and they puffed and they tried, but just couldn't really get the job done. But I'd love Palace to win the cup, Philip. Absolutely love Palace to win the cup. And that's not a slur on Man City or anything like that. But I love that underdog story and stuff like that and all, you know. So it'll be really, really cool. We will get on to talking about Irish football as well shortly as well. But we'll go quick rundown through the Premier League then, and then we'll take more of your comments, and then if there's anything you want to ask me as well, no problem at all. Chelsea with a huge win against Everton, winning 1-0, keeping the clean sheet, scoring early doors on 27 minutes. Jackson with a nice finish. And you can see what it meant to those Chelsea players. Every 3 points now. We're going to talk about this top 5 race and where it's at the moment. We're going to exclude, obviously, Arsenal and Liverpool, who are more or less there at this stage. So it's you know, we'll go through 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way down to 7th. We'll look at the fixtures, who they're going to play, and who we think are going to make it. And you can let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to make this top 5 race? But certainly Chelsea with a huge 3 points, really, really needed at the time as well. But a big, big win for them. Where are we then? Brighton 3, West Ham 2. Again, plenty of goals in this, but Baliba with the goal on 90 plus 2 to cement it. And Matoma on 89 as well. What a comeback from Brighton. And something they've been tripping up a little bit at the Amex recently and stuff like that. West Ham as well with 2 very good goals, Kudus and Souček. But just not enough. Never count Brighton out there. Newcastle, as we expected, absolutely blitz Ipswich 3-0. Isaac, Bourne and Osula with the goals. And there was a red card in the game as well for Ben Johnson. No surprise, we expect them to do this. Ipswich down, Southampton down, and Leicester down. So, there's not a whole lot for them to play for really at this stage. Southampton, 2-1 to Fulham it was. Southampton taking the early lead. Stevens on 14. Smith-Rowe on 72 and Sessegnon on 90 plus 2 to take the win for Fulham. Big 3 points for Fulham there as well. And then we had Wolves doing the business against Leicester, as we expected as well. Cunha on 33, Larson, who's having a fantastic season, on 56, and Gomez rounding it out on 85. Big win for Wolves. Wolves really starting to find their rhythm now. Looks like Cunha might be heading off to Manchester United, heavily linked with an agreement there that might be announced in the next week or two. So we'll see what happens there. Then going into Sunday, there was really only the 2 games, and it was Liverpool versus Spurs was the game that everyone was watching to seal the league. But before that, Bournemouth against Man United, who absolutely, I think, battered Man United for large parts of the game. United came into the game much more in the second half, putting plenty across into the box, especially when they got that man advantage. Let me know what you thought about the sending off as well. Some interesting tackles in that game, and kind of a difference of opinion in kind of similar situations and stuff. But a red card for Evan Nielsen that has been appealed, we heard today on the Sky Sports News and stuff like that as well. But again, 1-1. United scoring late on in the 90 plus 6 minute Hoyland with the goal. But United were peppering them at that stage when they got down to 10 men. They were putting crosses into the box, but just not finding players. Bournemouth will feel sick about that with the sending off. Probably felt like they created enough chances to be more than 1-0 up at half time. Certainly they were pulling the United apart for large parts of that game. But 1-1, United plenty to do going forward into the summer and stuff like that. And a huge game coming up this week as well against Bilbao. So that kind of rounds out your Premier League action in terms of what happened there. Let's take some comments. Emery reminds me of the fella from Mr. Deeds who loves feet. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Insane. Crazy. So let's take a look at this top 5 race, if you like. Now, obviously, some matches have happened, so obviously it's slightly outdated at this stage. This graphic, because obviously Chelsea bet Everton, so they're on 60 points. But it's all kind of tightened up if you look at it on the table. At the moment, you have Newcastle sitting on 62, City sitting on 61, Chelsea sitting on 60, Forest sitting on 60. Goal difference, the big one there. Aston Villa in 7th at the moment on 57, and I think that's as far as you need to go. Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest still have to play a game as well. They've only played 33. They have a game coming up this week, as far as I know, against Brentford, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be interesting. So if they can get the win there, that will propel them back up into 3rd as well on 63. Huge game coming up for Forest this week. And I think it would be it'd be pretty disappointing, wouldn't it, if you look at it, if Forest were to fall out of the top 4 or top 5 now, after the job they've done all season under Nuno. They've been absolutely right bang slap in the middle of that top 4 situation and all. And only in recent weeks, they've had a couple of results not go their way and stuff like that. The wheels have come off slightly. But that's a big game against Brentford that they need to win. I think it's scheduled for Thursday, is it? I think this week we've got Premier League football Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's a big week coming up. So, but they need to win. That's a win that they definitely need. And that will bring them back up into third and then put the pressure again on Chelsea and Aston Villa and Man City, who will be just kind of fluttering around the edge of things. In terms of fixtures coming up, Man City are home to Wolves. That's going to be an interesting game. Wolves playing really, really well at the moment. Southampton, they will absolutely batter. Bournemouth, again, could be a tough game for them. Bournemouth playing really, really well at the moment. And Fulham, the last day of the season. Might not be a whole lot to play for there. So we'll see. As we said with Forest, they've got Brentford coming up, I think, this week. On Thursday, I think it is. Then they got Palace away. Tough game. Leicester at home shouldn't be a problem. West Ham away could be a tricky one. And then Chelsea at home, that could be a top 5 decider last day of the season. So really, what we're focusing on at the moment is really it's only this top 5 race is really the only thing that's grabbing our attention, really, because obviously we've won the league. Obviously, you've got Arsenal still in Europe in the Champions League. That's going to be interesting this week. And obviously United and Spurs and Chelsea as well playing that trip as well in the Europa and the Europa Conference to be played out. But these top 5s are absolutely huge. You look at Newcastle have Ipswich coming up. I wouldn't see that being a problem for them. And then they've got Brighton away. Could be slightly tricky, but expecting to beat that. Chelsea at home. Chelsea really have a really tough one. And then they've got Arsenal away, and then they got Everton at home. So those last 3 games, they're tough for Newcastle. Tough for Newcastle. So we'll see. Chelsea, I think, have the toughest run. Chelsea, okay, they've dispatched of Everton there, 1-0. Really, really good 1-0 win that was. They've got us up next. So depending on how that goes, I mean, we're home and hose, but we shall see. Then they got Newcastle away. That's a tough one. Then they got Man United at home, and then they got Forest away. So there's huge implications there between Newcastle and Forest and Chelsea, all entangled in fixtures. And then Aston Villa have Fulham at home, should pick up a win there. Bournemouth away could be tricky. Tottenham at home, they'll batter Tottenham. I don't know how do you even describe Tottenham at the moment. And then last day of the season, Man United away. That could be a tricky one. It might be one that they need. I don't think Villa will be surrendering this situation yet, but they're gonna need it. They're gonna need to pick up. My guess is they're gonna need 12 points out of those 4 fixtures, I would think, to sneak into that top 5. But we shall see. Jordy, what's happening? How are the lads? Absolutely, my friend. Congratulations, by the way. I don't know whether we've seen you since the Carabao Cup. Congratulations on the League Cup, and the scenes were absolutely electric. So absolutely. Reggie's in. What's happening, Niall? All good, my friend. Niall, you didn't even hesitate on Spurs there. There's no. Did you see them yesterday? I don't know if you've seen them yesterday. It's absolutely laughable. I know they made changes and all yesterday and stuff like that, but absolutely shocking. You know what I mean? And then they've got this huge game on Thursday. Kind of fear for Ange. And I think Darren was talking this morning. He was talking about the betting on the managerial situation at Spurs at the moment. Some interesting names in there. But we shall see what they decide to do with Ange. But yeah, you look at Spurs at the moment. Spurs are just pitiful at the minute. Like, we literally walked through them yesterday. They didn't have an answer for us really at all. And to be honest, 5-1, it could have been so much more. So I mean, let us know in the chat, folks. What are you thinking? Who is going to pick up these last 3 spots? Newcastle in pole position at the moment on 62, City on 61. I think Newcastle and City are going to get there. And then I think it's going to be up for grabs between Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa. One from those 3. And that's where those fixtures are caught up. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Jordy, City and Forest have the easiest fixtures. It's who takes the 5th spot between us or Chelsea. I don't know. I think yourselves and City are going to be okay. I think it's going to boil down to Chelsea, Forest. Well, it depends on what Forest do. If Forest beat Brentford during the week, then it puts a different kind of slant on it. But I think, how would you feel about it, Geordie? Be disappointing if you missed out, wouldn't it? Really disappointing if you missed out because you've had. It's been good, It's been good. As Robbie Williams says, I'm loving Big Ange instead. No wonder Liam Gallagher still calls. Oh God. Oh God, I tell you. That WrestleMania 41 theme song is still going through my head. So fucking annoying. Stop listening to it. Switch it off. Mute it. You have the power, my friend. You have the power. Yeah, I think I'm going to predict my top 5 at the moment. I'm going to go Liverpool, Arsenal. I'm going to go, I'm thinking Newcastle City and Forest. I think Newcastle City and Forest in whatever combination. I think that's the top 5 I'm calling. Liverpool, Arsenal, Newcastle City and Forest. That's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the chat, folks, what you think. I suppose I should have mentioned at the start of the show as well. Our sponsors for the Monday mashup this season, of course, Mark's little company that he's working on there, Hogan Elite Trophy Hire. So if you could, folks, subscribe or follow over there on Instagram and on Facebook. And we will be at the Carlisle Grounds mid-month, I think it is, for this Leeds Legends game. Mark, you'll be there with the trophies. I'll be there with the podcast. And I think Darren's coming along. And I think Dino might make the trip out with Lewis as well. And we'll shoot some footage and have a bit of crack on the day. Yeah, so let us know. We'll probably give you an update next Monday on how that is as well as it draws closer. So I think it's the following weekend then, I think. So make sure you check that out. And if you can't get down, it's for a fantastic cause as well, folks. So really, really important that you support it if you can. Get down, and I think it's, what are they saying? Is it 20 for an adult and 10 for a kid or something like that? So it's not big bucks either, but going to a real worthy cause. And there's lots of prizes on the day as well, so well worth entering the raffles as well. I think they have tablets and iPhones and all sorts of stuff to give away as well, so well worth the trip down. Niall, in your shop, do you have any Stephanie Vacour merch? I don't at the moment, Romy. I actually just ordered shirts there the other day, so they will be en route. What's your dates as well? When are you in Dublin, by the way? Let me know the dates, and we'll get something set. So let's take a look at the Irish football now. So some interesting results, of course. Change that slide there. Bows with a big win over St. Pat's, 2-1. So Bows still finding their shooting boots. Kenny came out a little bit disappointed in the result. He said he should have there should have been more in it for them and stuff like that. But Bows on the tear at the moment. Daily Mount 2-1 against St. Pat's. Galway United beating draw the 2-1 was an interesting result. All right. Tough place to go, Galway. We did call it. We did say that potentially. On there, 16th of August. Perfect, bro. Perfect. 16th of August, we'll get something sorted. Brilliant. What is it? It's not that it's constantly playing over and over in my head. There you go. Look. All WrestleMania songs are like that, you know. You have to brush yourself off down WrestleMania season. Listen, we're on the road to Backlash now, you know. It is, Phil. That is the Milk-O-Mania. That's the Milk-O-Mania figure. You open up the 3 figures inside. I got Kurt to sign it at WrestleCon this year. He was an absolute gent, and when I walked up to him with it, he turned around and he says, "Thank fuck, not another Funko Pop." That was his comment, which was interesting. All right, yeah, but it's the Milk-O-Mania one, the one that opens with the 3 figures in it. It's him, Austin, and Steph in it. Pretty cool. Your boys, Derry did lose. They did lose, indeed. And it was, again, an interesting one. It was a bit of a trip down and stuff like that. So, Waterford pretty plucky at home. Interesting results that went through. And then, of course, I think, what's the one that we missed was Sligo, wasn't it? Sligo was the one that was missed. Sligo was the Saturday game. I think it finished. Did it finish a draw? I think, as far as I know. But yeah, there you go. Shamrock Rovers as well against Shelbourne 2-2. I have to say, I looked at this at 2-2. I don't know, you guys in the chat there for the Irish League for Shells and stuff like that, Philip and the boys. What did you make of the game against Rovers and stuff like that? I thought Jack Byrne was electric, wasn't he? He was pivotal in everything about Shamrock Rovers and stuff like that. But how did you feel about the result? Was the result okay for you, or how did you feel? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. But what that means overall, Drogheda and Galway United leading the top. Only difference is goal difference. Followed by St. Pat's and Shamrock Rovers. What a move Shamrock Rovers have made up the table from a quite sluggish start. Shelbourne sitting on 19 as well. Bows on 18. I think we're in for an unbelievable season. Derry on 17. So if you look at that, 3 points separating the top 7. This is going to be an absolute wild Irish league again. And this is going to come down to the death again. No one's really breaking away. If you think about it, literally, I know Drogheda have set up there on top now for a number of weeks and stuff like that, but we've literally nearly had different leaders at times and stuff like that and all, So, yeah, keep on following it. It's electric for Rovers. Then if you go into and look at Division 1, we need to get Paddy McCourt out of retirement, the Irish Pele. Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a quick look at Division 1, my own team, Bray Wanderers, who are doing really, really well. Keeping the league honest, as they say. Dundalk had a big 3-0 win, of course, over Longford. That isn't pictured there. But Bray with a big win, 4-2 at home to Kerry. Kerry kind of came back into it a little bit, but Bray were kind of cruising. Cove as well, 3-1 against Finn Harps, having an outstanding season as well. And literally, Division 1 is going to come down to those 3, Dundalk, Bray and Cove Ramblers. Everyone else is kind of too attached at this stage, I believe. But Treaty as well, big 1-0 win against Athlone as well, really staying good. And UCD picking up a win on the road against Wexford as well, interesting as well, which was a big move for them as well, because the students have been struggling big time this season as well. But yeah, I think it's you can see the detachment there, Dundalk, Bray Wanderers and Cove Ramblers. Bray will be on the hunt to get promoted. Really, really disappointed losing out against Drogheda there at the end of last season. So they'll want to make amends for that. But both divisions at the moment looking like they're going to put on some serious title challenges and stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting. Bourne was brilliant. The result, I would have taken it beforehand. I thought Shelbourne should have won it in the second half. Yeah, definitely in the second half. I thought Bourne's control of the game was unbelievable in the first half. He was at the core of everything. And his set piece as well is incredible, as well as crossing everything. A number of chances there for Shamrock Rovers. Really, first half, they could have been out of sight. But Shelbourne come back into it, as they often do. A mark of champions as well to round out and get the draw as well. So it was absolutely huge for them. My man is on. Coyle, congratulations, Niall, on another successful season, bro. Cheers, pal. Really appreciate it. Nice this time and stuff like that and all. And hopefully now you can move on. Big game tomorrow night, Coyle, for you. Have to do it, don't you? Have to do it at this stage. PSG, they won't be easy, as we know and as Villa know. They're pluggy, but they can be got at and they can be scored against. And I think Arsenal will do all right against them, hopefully. Always when I'm out of it, I've no problem with the other English teams in it and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully you do all right, bro. So fingers crossed. And then we'll see what happens. I found evidence Hulk did have tryouts for Metallica after all. There you go. Now back to the football. Vamoose Bray, let's go, Noel. Your boys are cooking. They are cooking at the moment. They're scoring and they're doing well. Again, after a slightly indifferent start to the season as well, they've kind of found themselves like very, very strong at home and stuff like that. But it's nice as well when it's going to come down to the kind of the fixtures against each other and stuff like that. That's going to be electric, and hopefully we can cover those games, myself and Marky and stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. But certainly the Irish League, both the Premier and Division 1, really shaping up to be two real good title races. and something that we can really, really enjoy. So yeah, let's see what happens. We'll keep you posted. We're going to follow it every week. Some big games coming up this week as well. So we'll give you the results of them and the latest tables and all on next Monday's show with Mark. Doesn't look like Mark's going to make the show tonight anyway. So that's it, really. That's it. I don't think of a whole lot else to say except thanks everyone for this season and supporting the podcast and all that kind of stuff. And it's great. And plenty more shows still to go and stuff like that and all. But nice yesterday being crowned champions. And let's see what happens. So some great football coming up this week. We will cover it, no doubt. Arsenal tomorrow night with a huge game in their season, huge implications for that. Gotta get it done. And then we have United and Spurs and Chelsea on Thursday. And then also that big game, Forest and Brentford as well, which I think is on Thursday as well, is going to be huge as well. And then we plough on into the weekend and see what else happens. Coils in. I have no faith, Niall. Let's see what happens. Just try your best, pal. Stick with it. You know what I mean? It's amazing what things can happen. Wouldn't be so bad, would it, if you got a Champions League? Would it be fantastic for you and stuff like that? It make a huge difference. Make a huge difference. Plus all the money that comes with it. Zane, what's happening, Niall? I've seen this trending. One gorilla versus 100 men. Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. There we go. Well done, Niall and Liverpool. Damn, that nearly killed me saying that. Never. There you go. When praise is due, praise has to be given. And Romy, both our clubs have a certain relationship there as well and stuff like that, So there you go. Right, folks, that's it. Subscribe, hit the bell notification button, all that kind of stuff. Drop a like on the video and stuff. I will be back on Wednesday for Pro Wrestling Weekly. I'm going to be back on Thursday with Darren for Thursday Tier Talk. Busy week this week. And then I'm going to be back on Friday with Ferdino. We're going to take a look back at Liverpool's season. Talk about the key moments and all that kind of stuff. We've had a lot of games where we went behind and came from behind to seal the 3 points. No doubt the Forest game and the Fulham game will stick out there, the 2 games we've lost this season. Wouldn't dwell too much on the Fulham game, really, when you're kind of home and host. But more, that Forest game was a real wake-up call for us. And the way we kicked on from that game, absolutely brilliant. We'll be talking about it on Friday. What's your opinion? I'd say the 100 men. No way. I'm going one gorilla. Absolutely. Against 100 men, one gorilla. All the way. Do you ever see the power of those things? They are insane. We are now over and out, folks. We are, and thanks for joining us. Legend you are, Noel, bro, and you, pal. Always in the chat there, always supporting us. Folks, big up. Thanks for joining us on this show and every show. We really appreciate you all coming into the chat. It's always a good buzz here in the community here we have on the upper tier. I'll catch you Wednesday, Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll have a bit of fun. We'll take a look at Backlash coming up. We'll have a quick look back at Rebellion, my man Joe Hendry and Bulletproof Steve Macklin and all these things. We'll take a look at that. We'll also do a recap of Raw. Let's see what's going on. Is there any more information with this Heyman group that's forming at the moment? Let's see what happens. Until then, folks, stay safe. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the wrestling. Talk to you again real soon. Cheers.